What's up guys, and welcome to the channel. My name's Micah, and today we're gonna take a look at the Mossberg 590 Shockwave. This is a super short, kinda weird, extremely unique little gun. I'm not exactly sure why it was made, but we got a hold of one, so we're gonna take a look at the features and specs of this gun, see why it was made, see what we think of it, and of course at the end of the video we'll go out and shoot it and see how it does. So, let's dive right in. And before we get too far along, I'll definitely show you that this gun is unloaded here, so you can see that there is nothing in our chamber, and of course the tube is empty as well. So safety's first, guys. That's extremely important, and we always need to be on top of that. So as far as some quick specs on this gun, it has a 14-inch barrel. Overall length is 26 inches. The overall weight of it is gonna be 5.25 pounds. Capacity is gonna be 5+1 or 4+1 if you're using 3-inch shells. This one here is a 12 gauge, but I believe you can get this in a 20 or a 410 chambering. So this is not technically classified as a shotgun. It's not classified as a pistol. It's called an other. Basically, if you get into gun definitions, a shotgun has to have a stock and is meant to be shouldered. This does not have a stock. It has a bird's head type grip, and it has a 14-inch barrel. So if we had a 14-inch barrel AR-15, it would be an AR pistol, but this is not a shotgun pistol. It's just really weird. At the end of the day, this thing is just the biggest loophole of all time. It's essentially just a sawed-off 12-gauge shotgun with no stock. Now, if you were to take your 18-inch or 20-inch tactical 12-gauge shotgun and chop the barrel down to 14 inches, that is highly illegal. Do not do that. But if you were to go out to your local gun shop and get one of these, that's perfectly legal. Makes sense, right? So we'll just start walking around this thing and kind of see what it has to offer. Starting at the front here, you just get a single bead front sight. There is no sights on the rear. I have seen some of these that do have a rail up top. You do have these 4 little screws there, so I think you can attach a rail. I've seen these with heat shields over the barrels, shell holders on the sides, so you can kind of trick these things out if you want to. That's not really on my agenda. I'm just gonna kind of keep it as it is. I really just bought this because I always kind of wanted one just to shoot it and see what it was like, and none of my buddies had one. So here I am with this brand new 590 Shockwave. I got this at my local Shields for $419. You might find them a couple bucks cheaper than that. Sometimes they're a little bit more. They do offer these in a flat dark earth finish. And that's typically about $40 more than just the black version. At first I thought I wanted the flat dark earth finish, but then upon seeing it in real life, it was like a glossy tan color, and I really just didn't like it. Whereas the black one, it's kind of a matte black finish, and I just like the look of that a little bit better. As we're moving on down the barrel here, you can see that it says it's chambered for 2 3/4 or 3-inch shells. Now I have only shot 3-inch shells out of this thing, and it kicks pretty darn good. Actually, it kicks a ton, and it's very hard to hang on to this thing with 3-inch shells or be accurate at all. Most of the time I found myself hip firing it because it kicks so much. I didn't want to have this thing anywhere near my face. And you'll see when we go out to shoot it. So if you want maybe a little bit more of a pleasant experience when shooting one of these, I would probably shoot 2 3/4-inch shells. So it's just kind of a standard pump shotgun, you know, it's not semi-automatic. Obviously you have to pump it each time you fire it to chamber another round and eject the spent shell. The pump feels really good on it. It does have these dual guide rods on either side that keep everything feeling good, firm, and straight. We do kind of have that ribbed texture up on the pump here, so Mossberg kind of likes to do that on some of their shotguns. You'll find this on the Maverick 88s as well. The finish does have a nice feel to it, but you can kind of see on the magazine tube, we are getting a little bit of some marking down there. After we've actuated the pump several times, you can see it's kind of marring up the finish there a little bit. It doesn't bother me, but just something to note. All my guns get banged around pretty good, so it's not uncommon to see scratches on everything I own. Upon moving down the gun here, so we do have our big, sturdy, heavy-duty metal lifter here that's gonna throw our shells back up so we can chamber more rounds. We do have our dual metal extractors here. Kind of the setup here looks exactly like my Maverick 88. I mean, all of these 590s, 500s, the Maverick 88s are almost identical, the mechanics of them. And I like the mechanics of them. They've never given me any problems here. I do think that they're built really well. All the rods, the pieces to them, even the shell stop rod in there, really nice and thick. So I just think that these guns are going to last for a really long time and just not give you any problems at all. As far as our whole trigger assembly on this guy, it's just going to be a polymer guard here that comes down around. Of course, I'd like to see a metal one there. But I've heard that these are pretty good quality polymers, so that doesn't really bother me too much. The trigger is going to be metal on there, I will note. The safety is going to be kind of located on the back of the gun there. So I'm a sucker. I really like my cross bolt safeties, to have them right up there. That just feels natural to me. This has never given me any problems. It always works just fine. But with this little gun kicking so much, I was finding that the gun kind of recoils back into my hand, and that safety location kind of catches the web on my hand, and if you fire more than a few shots, it kind of starts to tear up the web of your hand if you don't have a really firm grip. And like I said, I was always shooting 3-inch shells, and they were hot in this thing, to say the least. The pump release is going to be on the other side of the gun here, on the left side. It's this little lever here. So if you're right-handed here, the way that your middle finger will wrap under the gun, it perfectly will sit on that. It's very easy to actuate that. You don't really have to think about it at all. Your hand just naturally finds it. Works just fine. That is a little metal lever, I'll note. It feels really good for what it is, so no complaints there. As far as the grip on this baby, like we said, it is that bird head style grip. It has a really cool look to it, but there is no sort of texture to any part of it whatsoever. I would like to see a little bit of texture, you know, on the underside, on the backside, on the sides, like anything. Give me something, Mossberg. This thing is so hard to hang on to when you shoot it. So a little bit of texture on there would be nice, but maybe it would just tear up your hand. So I don't know, maybe they know best, maybe they tried that and it wasn't a good thing. But it's a totally smooth grip. It's not gonna tear up your hand, but it does make it a little bit hard to hang on to this. You know, if your hand's a little bit sweaty or wet, it's really gonna be sliding right up into that safety, you know, like it did for me. Now I have seen guys switch out this bird head grip for a arm brace. So you do kind of get a stock, arm brace that comes back that you could strap to your arm. You will not shoulder it with the arm brace. So that can help make this gun a little bit more manageable, but from the factory, yeah, this is just gonna be what you get. I will say you do get a sling mount on the rear, and then up front you do get one on the end of the magazine tube there as well. So if you wanted to put a little sling on it, throw it over your shoulder, we like to see those from the factory, so that's a nice gesture. Oh, and then lastly, I forgot to mention, but you've probably seen it, is this strap up here that's on the pump. You know, it says Mossberg on it. You will find that that's extremely useful because when you're shooting this gun, it has a tendency to want to fly back out of your hands. And you'll see when we're shooting it in the video, that gun constantly comes back and that strap keeps it in my hand. So that's very useful. I'm very glad that it has that. It absolutely needs that. So that's the whole gun in a nutshell. You know, it's extremely simple, it's extremely basic, it's extremely reliable, unique, it's fun, it's painful. This gun is a lot of things. Practical, I don't know if that's one of them. I've been trying to come up with a practical application for this gun. You know, would you use it for anything other than maybe a last resort home defense? I don't know. Even for home defense, I would rather grab one of my pistols, my AR, maybe my full-size tactical shotgun. There's a lot of things that I would grab before I grab this because it's just a little beast. I mean, this thing is so rowdy. The recoil is so much for what it is. I'd feel a lot more comfortable using something else as a tool for home defense. But at the end of the day, it is just pure fun, even though it is a little bit painful. If you've never shot one of these, you definitely need to get one. You definitely need to go out and shoot it. It's just an experience, and nothing else is quite like it. You feel like a pirate or a hooligan when you're shooting this thing. And yeah, nothing else is like it. I would recommend this to everybody. You know, it has that Mossberg reliability. It has great mechanics, great internals to it. For what it is, I literally have no problems with this gun. It's just not quite like anything else. And so that's kind of cool. So now we're gonna go out to the range and put a few rounds through it. We'll see how it does. Keep in mind this footage from the range is literally, I filmed it right after I bought this gun. I had never shot it before, so everything you're about to see is my first shots through this shockwave, and let me tell you, it puts a shockwave through my body. Holy crap. So stay tuned, guys. This should get super wild. Up to this point, I still haven't shot this thing. I don't really know what to expect. A regular 12 gauge kicks me pretty good, and this thing is way smaller with no stock, so I don't even know how I'm gonna hold it. And yeah, no idea what to expect, so on with the video. Bitch hit me in the hip. That hurt like a son of a bitch. Okay, we're not gonna hold it so close to ourselves, and we are gonna continue with the video. Oh my God. Okay, so that little girl is rowdy as hell. I should probably be shooting 2 3/4 inch shells. Instead, I'm shooting 3-inch shells, and I do regret that at this point in time. We're gonna still try and shoot it a few different other methods. I don't really wanna have that thing anywhere near my face, but I'm gonna try and hold it a little bit higher up and see how that feels, but holy crap. Definitely underestimated the amount of recoil that that little thing would have. I mean, that is just a little brute. I mean, it is hard to hang on to that thing. My hands hurt, my wrists hurt. Like, I'm 30 years old, and shooting that thing makes me feel like I'm 80. So now we're just gonna do kind of a test and see what the spread is like from that 14-inch barrel. So I've got just a little board set up over there. It's only about 1/4 inch thick, so all of our BBs, I'm using steel BB shot. They should all go through that so we can kind of see what the pattern looks like. And I'm just gonna shoot it from 5 yards here. So from 5 yards away, let's see what the spread is on the 14-inch barrel of this Shockwave. All right, 5-yard test, here we go. God damn it. Just like, I am afraid of this thing. I am scared of it. Wasn't very centered because I'm hip firing it, so we'll do another here. Let's just do one last one for good measure, you know. We gotta be sure. All right, last one. God damn. Well, let's get a closer look and check them out. All right, so upon examining our targets here, oh, this was the first one, second one. We'll just kind of look at the third one. They all kind of look the same, but it looks like, oh gosh, I mean, maybe that's about a 9-inch spread, 8-inch spread, 8 or 9-inch grouping there. From just 5 yards out. So, I mean, at 10 yards away, that Shockwave would probably pattern around 20 inches wide or close to it. So the spread is very significant. This thing is not for long range. It is definitely a short range, powerful little whatchamacallit, I don't even know. We'll shoot a couple more things with it here. Oh, and for anybody curious about what's behind me, I hand built this cabin last winter. The only tools I used was a hammer, a tape measure, and a handsaw. All the wood was totally free. I got it from somebody's deck that they were tearing out. And all the nails that I used were recycled nails from that deck, so I had to bend them all straight. It's almost finished. Gotta finish up my windows here. Just has a tarp roof for now, but it's kind of a hilarious little contraption. I was just gonna hunt coyotes out here, and so I wanted something that I could, you know, spend the night in, and so I just kind of built this thing. Probably gonna hunt some deer and other things like that. So yeah, my hilarious hand-built cabin that cost me $0.00. Tough to beat that. So final thoughts, the Mossberg Shockwave. What the heck is it good for? Why was it made? I don't really know. It's totally unique. There is nothing else like it. You wouldn't ever use this for hunting. I mean, the spread is too much. You don't want to put it near your face because this thing kicks like a frickin' mule. You could use it as a tool for home defense, but you better have a very firm grip on it. I mean, kind of takes a strong, manly man like myself to be able to use one of these things. So at the end of the day, I don't know. I think you just get one of these things because they are totally unique. There's nothing else like them. It's fun to say you have one. It's kind of fun to shoot one, even though it isn't the most pleasant experience ever. But yeah, I don't regret purchasing it. I would probably get it again. It's just such a funny piece, you know. Put it on the wall if anything else, you know. It will be a good conversation starter, that's for sure. You know, I bought this from my local Scheels, and the sales guy there was like, "What the heck are you gonna use this for?" And I said, "I have no freaking clue, man. This could be the worst $400 I've ever spent. I don't know." And it might be, but at the end of the day, I would buy it again. You know, I will give this thing 5 stars just because nothing else is like it. But it cycled all my shells just fine. You know, the trigger's fine, the safety, the pump, everything just worked perfectly on it. So I would probably go out and get one of these if you're up in the air or on the fence about it. They're probably gonna ban these things at some point because it is just the biggest loophole of all time that you can even get one of these right now. So yeah, Mossberg Shockwave, 5 stars for what it is. It's unique, it's totally weird, and it is a rowdy girl. So like the video if this helped you out, subscribe if you want to see more, and until next time, have a great night, guys.